Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, thank you for joining. And for all my returning subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you to you. So today, I don't know who needs to hear this message, but I know that this message is going to bless a lot of people. So I want to encourage you to please like and share. This message is actually for those people that think they have married the wrong person, and also for those dealing with difficult spouses. First, you might have married the wrong person, but marriage in itself is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So even if you think you've married the wrong person, you are in a marriage and your marriage can still work. All you need to do is take your baby to the light. Your marriage is your baby. Your marriage is what God has committed to your hand to nurture. Like I always say, marriage is hard work. Marriage is not something that you think, oh, you're just going in there, you sleep every day, you don't do anything. Marriage is hard work. It requires you to be intentional about everything you do. So, if you happen to be married to a difficult spouse, this message is for you. Take your baby to the light. You see, there are some spouses, that are very nice outside. Some spouses are beautiful. When you see them outside, they are so friendly. They're so nice to other people. Some people, people can even, play with them. Let me take some men, for example, that when they're at work, they are so lively, they play with everybody, people can touch their head, they can do this, you understand? But when they are home, they are corrosive. They are difficult to deal with. These are men that you call lion of the tribe of their families. You see, they are difficult. Yet when you see them outside, they are very nice. If you happen to have a husband or a wife like that, I understand you. It's not easy. But if that is the situation you are, take your baby to the light. Or if you think, oh, I married the wrong person, and you're thinking, how am I going to cope? How do you want to do this? How do you want to do that? Take your baby to the light. This message is for you. It's not something that you should walk away from, because we are in this generation of I can't take it. My mental state can't take it. So, it's easy to just walk out of marriages. And that is what the devil really, really is excited about. Broken homes. You see, you go on internet these days, you see people posting, oh, I'm free at last, you see. And it's a lie. Some of these people are not happy after leaving their marriages. As long as you're not being battered, as long as this person does not eat you, you can still work on your marriage. Because I tell people, if you're in a marriage and you're being battered, you're being beaten every day, please walk out of that marriage, separate, and still take your baby to the light. Don't remain there. So I'm not in support of you staying in an abusive marriage and at the end of the day, you end your life. No. But, in a situation where, in this generation where every little thing, you hear young women and men saying, oh, I can't take it. I can't do it. Oh, no, I'm tired. My emotions can't take it. My mental state, I need to move out. I need to go. The devil is just trying to make your life miserable. Instead of you trying to pack up your marriage, take your baby to the light. Take your baby to the light. And we also need to, the reason why it's so easy these days for people to break up their marriages is the fact that when people come into relationships, when they come into marriages, they already have exit plan. It's like when you are in a room and there's a door. So if there's a fire, of course, there's an exit for you to go out. So many people go into marriages with that mindset. And because of that mindset that okay, I have an exit plan, they don't bother to work on their marriages. I want to encourage you today. If you are getting married, or even if you're married and you have an exit plan, please erase it. That exit plan, once you have it, you will use it. So don't have an exit plan. Just pray for a good marriage, for a good man and a woman. And if you are in the marriage already, pray for a change. Take your baby to the light. And when I say take your baby to the light, let me just share this little story with you before I tell you what I really mean. You see, when in the Bible, there's this beautiful story in the Bible, and it's a very popular story about these two women, prostitutes, that gave birth to babies, two of them at the same time, and one baby died. So the woman that the baby died actually switched the dead baby with the other woman's baby that is alive. And when the other woman woke up, and when the other woman woke up and saw that, oh, her baby was dead, she was surprised. And in order to be sure that that was her baby or not, she took her baby to the light to check. And when she was sure that this was not her baby, she actually fought. And that was how they were taken to the king, King Solomon. And when they got to the king, the king, in order for the king to be sure to know who actually owns the baby, he said that the baby should be cut into two. And the woman that owns that baby actually said, okay, no, don't cut the baby into two. Let's give the baby to the other woman. And the reason why she said that was that she knew that, okay, she will still be able to see the baby if the baby is alive. So the moral of that story is, when she discovered that that was not her baby, that the dead baby wasn't hers, she took the baby to the light to check. And that is how we should treat our marriages. Our marriages are the babies that I'm talking about here. Take your baby to the light. And when I say take your baby to the light, fight for your baby, your marriage. When I say take your baby to the light, I mean, number one thing you need to do is pray. When things are not going your way, as in the way you expect, when things are not going right in your marriage, instead of you thinking of using the exit plan, instead of you thinking of walking away, because a lot of us are so relaxed, we're so comfortable that we don't even pray for our husbands, we don't pray for our wives. We just live life the way it is. And like I always say, marriage is hard work. It is intentional. You need to be intentional about your actions in your marriage. So take your baby to the light. And number one thing to do is pray when things are not going on. Even when things aren't going on well in your marriage, prayer is key. That's number one way to take your baby to the light. If your husband or your wife is not acting the way you know she should, or she has changed or he has changed, take your baby to the light. Take your wife or your husband to God in prayer. Tell God, this is not what I ordered. This is not the husband I married. This is not the husband I asked for. And there will be a change. Prayer, number one. Then take your baby to the light. Number two is do your own part as a man or as a woman. If your wife or your husband is not acting right, please Don't say, oh, of course, he's doing his own thing, then I'll do my own thing. He's not acting right, then I will also not act right. Do your own part. Do what is right. Not just because of him, but for your sake, for your peace, and for the sake of your children. Don't be too hasty to say, oh, no, I'm done with this marriage. Don't be too hasty to say, no, I am not doing anything. I'll just walk out. I'll do my own thing. Take your baby to the light. Do your own part. When he's acting wrong, please act right. When he's doing things that is wrong, doing deliberately, even sometimes doing it deliberately, do your own part by doing the right thing. And don't be judgmental. Then the last one is project on your spouse. You see that thing that your spouse is not doing right? Project on him. Like, you teach him by acting the right version of that thing that he's doing. For example, I like to use myself as an example. Like many years ago when I newly got married to my husband wasn't the type that he doesn't know how to say, I am sorry. And it's the truth. Don't worry me, if you see this video, please, I'm not lying, you know that. But we have grown. And I love and appreciate you. I really, really love you. So, when we nearly got married, he just didn't know how to say it. It wasn't deliberate. But I had to project on him that if anything happens, I learned to say I'm sorry. And because of that, because he saw the way I was always, saying that I'm sorry if I've done anything wrong, he actually learned. He actually started to say that. He actually started to apologize. So a lot of times we need to project on our spouses so as to help them to understand that, okay, this thing you're doing or this thing I'm doing is wrong and she's doing it right. Or this thing I'm doing is wrong and he is doing it right. You understand? Project on your spouse. Take your baby to the light. Those are the 3 ways of taking your baby to the light. By praying, by doing your part, and by projecting on him. Another example of projecting on your spouse is, for example, if you have a spouse that is an extravagant person that doesn't know how to save, you can save on his behalf. Okay, like for example, if you have an impulse buyer as a spouse that, okay, he sees this thing and he wants to buy, he sees this and he wants to buy. And, when he wants to buy things like that and he gives you the money, you can keep out of the money. And over time, you can okay, oh, this is what I have. Assuming he needs money. And okay, my dear, this is what I have. You can have this. And if you ask you, oh, where did you see this money? Oh, you remember those times that you were buying all those things, that you wanted me to buy this, you wanted me to buy that. I just thought I should save some part of the money. That's projection. That's projecting on your spouse. Take your baby to the light. If you're married to a difficult spouse, there are ways to deal with that situation. Not just by walking out of the marriage. Not just by saying, I am done. Take your baby to the light. And I pray that God will help us. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Have a blessed day, guys. Bye, everyone.